I don't know what.
You know what? You're right, Dylan. Let's do the heavy wrestler review. Welcome everyone to Jeff Hardy when his addiction really gripped his soul. The opioids have got his little balls, Dylan. Let's see if you can swanton
Maybe the
oxys.
final edition of the exploration of Jeff Hardy's imagination. Although
Not even we know how many.
we just got another Dewey, which I would
That's
like
right.
to say this. I would like to say this, and this may be the part of wrestling Twitter I'm a part of. Would look upon this very negatively, what I'm about to say, but you
Go ahead.
can just explore the fact that Jeff Hardy is a dude from a small town who likes to drive drunk because he doesn't want to wait for a taxi. John, thoughts?
I got to tell you, as a Canadian man, I know so many people that are like Jeff Hardy. Because let me tell you what Jeff Hardy said in that bar. He went, "Yeah, I'm fucking sober. This is a fucking Coors Light." Like, I guarantee Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy was like Bill Goldberg spearing old men in that bar. He was at. Let's talk about the North Carolina bar where Jeff Hardy definitely scores pills. It's got a gator somehow stacked to the wall. It's got a sunroom like smoking porch.
If he was on pills with his blood alcohol level of the current catch that he got, he would be dead. Because he was like, his blood alcohol level was like something like
it was party.
5 times.
It was a party level. It was what I like to call the Wrestle Review Christmas party minimum level. You guys don't know about this, but Dylan and I, every year since we started this podcast, have held a Christmas party that's just he and I, and we pick what the other person has to drink. The last Christmas party, Dylan had to drink vodka and piss, and I had to drink rubbing alcohol with some of Dylan's cum in it. And let me tell you, we got so fucked up. Dylan has a kid now, and I'm divorced. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, baby.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, let's just say we were very worried the kid was going to look like just me and Dylan, not his wife at all.
This is the thing about Jeff Hardy, though, man. Like, it's toxic for dudes in small towns to rip fucking their cars as fast as they can when they're full fucking hammered. But
yeah, but I guarantee Jeff Hardy's not near his kids while he's doing that. Let's look at the silver lining. He's not drunk at home being like, hey, I fucking hate you guys. Like, you know he's not a good dad. I'm going to say this right now. There's no way someone has that many different types of emo mutton chops and also is like, did you make this macaroni art on a paper plate? Because this is the best cow spaceship I've ever seen in my life.
This is the other thing where it's like the way Jeff Hardy presents himself. I'm going to equate this to the current Vince McMahon stuff that's happening. Is that so? Like I think Vince is going to get away with it just based on
100%.
the mainstream new coverage, which is like they show Vince McMahon in character and kind of everyone's been like, yeah, of course he's going to do this. This guy's a fucking creep, whatever, right? And that plays into the Vince McMahon, the way people see him, the perception of him publicly, so that he'll get away with this in the same way that everyone thinks Jeff Hardy's having a rough time just because he like is a goth. If Jeff Hardy if this was Stone Cold Steve Austin, people would be like, hell yeah, fucking 316, bro, let's get fucked.
God, first of all, if Steve Austin debuted with Matt Hardy in AEW, the entire internet wrestling community would literally oh my God!
I've decided
Broken Matt Hardy and Broken Skull Ranch Steve Austin? Delete. Exactly. Hell yeah. Delete what? Delete what? Delete what? Those chants would never stop, and every wrestling show would be unwatchable.
They could literally book a Raw that was just delete and then what for 3 whole hours.
I would watch
that was really good.
That was the best Raw I've ever seen. And if at the end Brock Lesnar just comes out and then just like F5's Lillian Garcia, the next Raw would have a bigger indoor attendance record than WrestleMania 3.
So anyway,
you think they're gonna do it? Go ahead.
You want to do it? Still the best. Anyway, Jeff Hardy is in a Hardy Boys reunion in 2006-2007 because we'll talk about Matt Hardy eventually, but basically they're like version 1.0 Matt Hardy starts getting over and Vince is like, no,
absolutely no. Yeah, that's what I don't think so at all. First of all, wait a minute.
I don't like that.
He's the one that I didn't like. No, destroy
him
quickly.
Wrong? I'm not wrong.
Also, can we just quickly make a little visit that Matt Hardy version 1 rules? The little MFer, the little Matt Hardy fan? Come on. It was so fun. It was the beginning of also
everything.
Oh, Matt Fax. And also just It's like he knew how quickly that weird thing of the early 2000s of showing a computer on, like what a computer kind of looked like 5 years ago as what a computer looks like now. Oh, so fucking good. Jeff Hardy, on the other hand, debuts as, do you remember me? I'm that guy, but like thinner and weirder now.
Yeah, this is the thing about Jeff Hardy is that, like, oddly, his substance problems have sort of aided his um, perception with fans. I want to say not his perception with fans, but just like,
I actually know. I know exactly what you're talking about. Isn't
you know what I
it?
mean?
It's
Like,
in
what I'm
this.
saying is his
No,
character doesn't have
yeah.
any depth. Like, once he's like, oh, he does the flips, and this is who he is. And then it's like you throw him in the world title picture, he wins and then loses, or just loses, and then you kind of like
Dylan,
want him to go to another territory.
I want to punch you in the face because you're so right. I have nothing to contribute. You're so correct. That's why I want to hurt you, because your facts are too excellent. But that's the exact thing that's so interesting, especially about this moment of Jeff Hardy. Is it's kind of like his Marty Jannetty, Shawn Michaels breakout movement, and everyone was like, Jeff's Shawn, and then everyone's like, oh no, Jeff's Marty, and he's the world champion. And it's like, listen, I'm Jeff Hardy. I do not want to fuck my daughter, but I do not want to talk to her. I want to talk to pills. Like that, like Jeff Hardy
he's like Jimmy Snuka.
No, Jeff Hardy's so much.
Man.
Yeah, okay, great. Yeah. Like, as in Jimmy Snuka just wants to be left, like the character of Jimmy Snuka just wants to be left alone to jump on opponents, and that's Jeff Hardy's entire personality. Like,
yeah.
Jeff Hardy's getting fucked up. He's like, I got the fear now. I had a dream once where I jumped off a building and I just didn't land on my feet. Turned out that was a real day and I was just fucked up. Like,
yeah, but they immediately have him when he re-signs with the company. They immediately...
shoot, Edge, you tried to fuck my fucking brother's fucking girlfriend who was my sister. You fucked my sister. I'm the one who fucks my sister.
I'm from the southern United States, and that means you are my king. You fuck my sister, you are my literal better. Here is a championship.
Edge, you are much better than me because you nutted in what I wanted to, my sister's Christian Jesus cave. Now you are the champion of both me and Seventh-day Evangelical Church in Asheville, North Carolina. You can pin me, Edge, but you can't pin Jesus.
So this is WWECW and the Hardys team again there for the first time, beating the FBI, which is how you do ECW. You
Goddamn right.
have all the original ECW guys be full jobbers, which is what
exactly. And you want to make sure that it's the FBI that everyone loved, which was the late stage FBI where it was Little Guido and Tony Mamaluke, and not the much better FBI when it was Little Guido, Tommy Rich, Tracy Smothers. That's the FBI we all love.
Yeah.
The big dong, Tommy Rich. That's why it was so funny.
That's the best. Anyway, at Survivor Series, they're part of Team DX, which gains a clean sweep over Team RKO, Team Rated RKO, because this is Christian DX. And
This is Christian DX. Like, this is Triple H. This is the second run of, just to remind everyone who's fucking in charge, Triple H. Like, this is.
Oh yeah.
This is the run, which is why.
Was it 3 years in a row that they did just like Triple H with whoever was kind of like, they did one with him and CM Punk were on the same team, and it was kind of like, yeah, we're being cheered because we're standing next to this guy. That's how much they like us. You know what I mean? Like, he just put himself next to the people who the crowd actually liked, so they would get cheered.
What's interesting is I guarantee it's this moment in time, which is why Triple H is now like, that's not as many get well cards as I thought I was going to get. Like, a lot of people have had this thought. I should send him a get well card. You know what? Fuck that guy. That's what I guarantee. Like, I guarantee Paul Levesque is a wonderful man that you're just kind of like, yeah, suck it. Like, fuck you. Like,
suck
you
it. Really suck it.
Hey, Paul, suck on my little penis.
I never drank. I've never had a drop of alcohol, and you should suck my dick. Paul,
yeah, I've never
just say suck it. It's way less formal and way cooler.
No. That was the character
I wish
Triple
you
H.
would suck my dick. Is that
That's the
okay
character
phrase?
Triple H. Paul Levesque wants you to suck his dick. Hey, I've got 5 words for you. Can you suck my dick?
Now.
6 words.
Now. Suck it now. And don't like it. And don't like it.
Do you think that right before Triple H and Stephanie have sex, he goes in the bathroom and she plays the DX theme on her phone? Doom.
No way. He plays the game. There's no way.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
the
you're
King of
right.
Kings when he was like, you know,
Oh,
my
it is
sick
the King of
nickname?
Kings.
Jesus Christ's name.
Yeah. That how
That gets
how much
underplayed.
how much did Triple H stack the deck against everyone else so he would always be on top? Well, he has 3 of his own different theme songs, one of which is just played at WrestleMania before his actual theme. And he also, for a while, just invented a tradition that he has big, cool entrances at WrestleMania, which no one enjoyed. No one has ever been like, you know what I'm looking forward to? Triple H thinking he's the Road Warrior.
Yeah, man. What was the Sting match where it's like Sting's big WWE first match and he gets a crow and Triple H literally got Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator and all the T1 or in the T800 bots. And
The
whatever.
last good WrestleMania in the match that was basically member berries while Sting just goes, really? I'm losing to this fuck?
Oh, and also Sting is on a team with the NWO for some reason.
Well, I never understood why people were bothered by that because I was like, Sting was technically a member of the NWO with Kevin Nash.
Never
this is
with
canonical.
Hogan.
This was It's canonical, though, Dylan. Remember that?
No. I don't know what you're saying. What do you mean it's canonical?
It's canon.
That's not canon because they would have been the Wolfpack then.
Which Kevin Nash was on. Kevin Nash was like, hey, let's combine the Wolfpack and Hollywood into the...
oh, that's what you think. In your mind, that's how it just kept on going.
The NWO has never stopped. They are still trying to. They succeeded the WWE succeeded in taking over WCW. NWO won, guys. I hate to break it to you, but much like in life, the New World Order is winning American politics, and it's already won wrestling politics. I hope you're fucking happy. And now the NWO is trying to take down a great man. Do you know who that great man is? Me.
Exactly. Jeff Hardy worked closely with Triple H during late 2007 and again in late 2008, and that's what we know is going to happen here. This is finally Jeff Hardy winning, which I think is really calculated by Triple H because around this time he's getting a lot of heat for not jobbing to anybody, and he's like, "Oh, I'll just job to Jeff Hardy, who's the perfect like everyone wants him to win, but then once he's like every Ring of Honor champion around this area where it's like everyone
so
wants
funny.
him to win, and then he wins, and everyone's like, oh." All right, I guess I didn't want this for Christmas
I forgot.
After all.
Yeah, I forgot his chest was very sunken.
Or just like, hey, what's your promo like? This guy's against me, I guess, and I'm gonna swanton him or miss, and it's still fine.
I would like one of the fans to give me some Triscuit crackers. I have had no food. I am very hungry.
Could someone please put some Listerine in this beer? It is not strong enough.
I would just like to let everyone know I am here. I am here.
John, did you watch wrestling during this period?
I did not, but for one of the other, I believe the other Jeff Hardy episode, I misread the captions on a YouTube clip, and I ended up watching a lot of Jeff Hardy CM Punk stuff from this era. CM Punk, because he was a little trickster. Hockey. He does love hockey, almost in an annoying way. Can I just say that everything about CM Punk from this period forward, just if you look back on it, is kind of really annoying? The company's not treating me right, so I'm going home. Like, you just change the tone ever so slightly on CM Punk's continual booking. Also, can I just say I've never seen a champion more that as soon as he wins a belt for the first time, he's leaving for a month.
Talk about CM Punk.
Well, I'm bringing him back in because he is absolutely the reason why this little title is this the title run that is CM Punk versus Jeff Hardy, or is that the next one?
I don't know.
But I
couldn't read ahead.
I understand you were being a good father, which we're all impressed by. Here is what I would say about that: is Jeff Hardy is absolutely like a Ring of Honor champion, or like any champion the internet wrestling community always wants. They're like, yeah, that guy's the champion, and they're like, and his new opponent, Kane. And you're like, nah, for fuck's sake. But when it's Jeff Hardy, CM Punk, this is what is very interesting and I think very informative of moving forward, in that this is the first time where it's very much what wrestlers now look like fighting over a world championship. This is the first time where it's two guys that are around 5'11" fighting a lot. Like,
it is a normal-sized men fighting.
Yeah. Yeah, one of them's on drugs, one of them's not. You can not really tell which one's which. And I think it's very informative in that this gets over and is really remembered by a huge segment of the now wrestling audience But at that time, I don't think drew that great money. Like, it was not that. It was very critically lauded, and was sort of the beginning of that sort of Dave Meltzery, like, I like this. Like, Twitter likes it, but it doesn't actually translate into any tickets being moved whatsoever.
Well, it's very much positioned as this period is like Raw is the A show, SmackDown's the B show. The only thing that they would use to sell the network on the fact that SmackDown was still good was like, hey, The Undertaker's on this. And this is like kind of it really does encapsulate why people like me and you don't watch the WWE now, which is here's what would happen. CM Punk, which did happen here, where it's like CM Punk has this great feud with Jeff Hardy and beats Jeff Hardy, kicks him out of WWE, and then The Undertaker is like, okay, well, we need The Undertaker to come back to sell a pay-per-view, so he's just going to beat CM Punk very easily, and now he has the title, and then he loses it to Batista.
Yeah, it was it's also this weird thing of The Undertaker. We all loved The Undertaker because we didn't watch SmackDown, and he would just show up at WrestleMania in this time period and just put on a fucking wrestling clinic. But you look at any clip from him showing up in wrestling around this time, and it's like, I've never seen someone with more of a gut. He's just like, I hope the old
black.
Oh yeah, he's using the black. There's a reason why it's under biker.
Sorry. This
no,
is
yes, it is.
That is very thin. This is thin Undertaker.
No, this is 2000. Yeah. No, this is like post Edge champion, weird, like muscly man boob Undertaker, I would say.
No.
Yes.
No, this is prime Undertaker. Yeah, this is Undertaker. I'm old, but I'm thin, caved in chest. I just Googled Undertaker 2008. This is totally.
All right, let me
look.
You
could say his prime, his second prime for sure, because he does not have a pootie yet.
Oh, god damn it!
He starts having a pootie. Honestly, I think this is kind of like the best version of the Undertaker.
Yeah, this is the best version of the Undertaker. I got this totally wrong. I'm like, I was thinking 3 years later than this. God damn it! Yeah, this is like
once
really.
Once he loses to Lesnar, then it's like, okay.
Oh yeah, no. We're and like in the run up to the law, like I also like the Lesnar is the worst one when he shows up and he's got that weird hair and he just like, oh, why is this Hot Topic manager be beaten up by this wildebeest?
Well, yeah, I mean it's terrible. But anyway, Jeff Hardy. The most important thing is
he's
being himself. He also, once again, gets kicked out briefly for substance abuse.
Oh yeah, the thing you should know about this period of him being in the WWE. Okay, Dylan, you be the drug test. I be Jeff Hardy. Hello.
Okay. No, you're Jeff Hardy. I'm the drug test.
Yeah.
Are you on drugs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was
like.
like.
That. I like your
yeah. Oh, I thought you would. Yeah. No. I listen. Yes. This is also the period of. Can I just say the Intercontinental Championship, much like HPV, you can try and get rid of it. You can think it's gone. It always stays. No matter who has it, it's sticking around, baby. Like the Intercontinental Championship has been damaged so badly in my lifetime. Like it used to fucking. I remember caring so much when they were doing like the Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels deal. Like, put that Intercontinental title on Diesel. Who can beat him? He's so much taller. And now it's just like, I don't know, that fucking James Ellsworth's non-chin is the Intercontinental Champion and his dick is the fucking light. I don't give a shit.
Okay, well, here's something for context. Much like The Simpsons, this will blow your mind.
Go ahead.
The Intercontinental Championship has basically not mattered for now 23 whole years.
Yeah, that's correct. It hasn't mattered since Steve Austin won it from Owen Hart and then threw it in a lake.
Since he threw out that belt.
Yeah,
like,
as soon as
it got like the weird
attitude
looks like a smartwatch.
Yeah, the Attitude Era, like, check out this fucking jewelry an Armenian man would wear in Glendale exclusively.
Yeah, take that, Armenia.
Not Armenia, the Armenians of Glendale, Dylan. Okay. It's very specific.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I haven't been to Glendale, but I fucking, based on what you've been texting me about Armenians in Glendale, they are bad people, right, John?
I mean, well, no, I think that they have very affordable gold T-shirts, and also, can I say this? Mm-hmm. And it's a community that I think is important in every city. You need one group of European descended human beings that stand in front of their small businesses and smoke cigarettes, no matter what's happening in that business. Are they wearing velvet loafers with some sort of embroidered symbol on them, on the toes? Dylan, look at my face.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they are.
Okay. So this is so I forgot about this feud completely. Triple H and Jeff Hardy have a respect feud.
I had no idea this ever happened, and I read this sentence in the research right before I went for a run. Full disclosure, slept terribly, had a bunch of grief dreams, and I didn't believe this happened. I don't believe this happened. I think that Christopher Hobson smoked a bunch of fucking sweet pot. He smoked Maui Wowie and Alaskan Thunderfuck, and he made this up. Because let me say this right now, a guy who has his own band that makes his theme music, I guarantee Triple H
only his theme music.
And only his theme music. I guarantee Triple H really respects Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy does not respect Triple H at all, and that was what it was like in the locker room. Like Triple H is like, Jeff, can you make me a theme song in the game? And Jeff is like, you ever do shrooms, Paul? And he's like, if you mean add portobello mushrooms to an omelet, no.
No, there's no protein in that.
That is not. That's a nightshade that does not encourage anti-inflammatory behavior in a muscle. So if you're taking as much HGH as I am not, you want to make sure to not have anything that's going to inflame your muscles, because the chemicals you're taking and various pills and herbs you're taking, so that you piss clean, so your father-in-law doesn't punish you for taking steroids, which is he makes you completely strip naked and just walk on a beach with him. You want to make sure you're taking those cleansing pills.
I don't want to go on the walk of trust again.
I don't want to have to sit in a meeting and just listen to him and John Laurinaitis compare paralegals based off of after they've sat in a chair smell.
Oh, God. But this is Triple H's, and it's not as bad, but it is Triple H's version of like when Hogan lost to Kidman. It was like, see, I fucking job all the time.
Oh my God.
Why isn't he over?
I actually think it's exactly.
It's on TV for 10 years.
It's also exactly the same because it's also this weird thing of it shows that with Hogan and this with Triple H, but this is more with Triple H. Triple H is guaranteed a guy like, I don't listen to Dave Meltzer, and then he does something like this, and I'm like, oh, I think you fucking do, Paul. I think you fucking do, Paul.
You gotta stop being so loud.
No. I will not be so loud. I will not stop being so loud, Dylan.
So, Jeff Hardy he has a feud with Umaga, and Umaga is just what the doctor ordered, but it's like, he's one of those dudes where they're like, yeah, put him in a feud with Umaga, and they want him to be the new Kane type thing, where it's like, okay, we'll get someone to lose to Umaga and just have them be over, but they don't really book Umaga strong enough, consistently enough, where he could be the new Kane. But Jeff Hardy does, and they do have fucking amazing. They're like made for each other.
I kind of agree. I also think that Umaga, this sounds really weird, really suffered from dying when he did, in that I do think he would have actually sort of turned a corner. I think they could have, what they really just needed to do with Umaga, which I think they've now kind of finally learned with Roman Reigns, is let the guy you can be that monster beast guy, but just let the guy talk, and it just makes it more realistic, because the UFC has now basically been like, these guys are just fighters and they want to fight. And like Umaga would have worked so well in that type of character, and that like he wears the war paint because it makes him feel crazy. It's turn on his manager. Like you could have done so much stuff with that character. Because the one thing that and this was Jim Ross's, I think, last really amazing moment of putting a wrestler over using commentary, is Jim Ross sounded genuinely like he was like, "You got good guy, bot. Now you got to worry about that Samoan spike. It's a thumb to the throat, but I don't know if you ever taken a thumb to that from a sex worker.
But it's also a character that he totally understands. Where it's like they're using the Asiatic spike, which was a finishing move from when Jim Ross was a child.
Oh
and
yeah,
the character is this man who's not white as a savage. At the end
he
of
loves
the
it.
day. And like, you're right. It's crazy that they took them that long to come up with a character like Roman Reigns, which was, hey, I'm a normal guy, but I, uphold my heritage of being a warrior. And like his promos are just a dude in a sweatsuit, like an athlete coming out, being like, I'm going to kick the shit out of everybody, and then doing it. And then
also
after the match, having the fucking thing put on him slowly, like it's all perfect. And you're right, they totally could have done it with Umaga, but Umaga's not as good on the mic as Roman Reigns. Not that like Roman Reigns has been given ample opportunity to become very good on the mic.
Yeah, I was also going to say Roman Reigns has literally had a decade. Like Roman Reigns' promos when he was like, when literally he couldn't walk out without people being like, I will cut your dick off. You gave my kids AIDS. suck my ass. He's like the reason why Roman Reigns is good on a mic now is because he was trained in hell. Like he and he was the only wrestler ever in the WWE given the opportunity to be like, not even The Rock was hated as much as Roman Reigns.
No, Cena wasn't, because Cena also came in preternaturally good at promos versus Roman Reigns was like as good as Batista, and then now.
Oh, I think that's a big insult to Batista. Roman Reigns in the Shield, it would be like Dean Ambrose, like, and then we're gonna fucking take a shit or whatever, and then Seth Rollins would be like, yeah, shitting, and then Roman Reigns would be like, like he would just like, what? Okay,
bathroom.
Yeah, I don't like. I keep the door open so my mommy can check on me, and you're like, oh no,
they didn't inform me it would be this crass.
Yeah, just because I'm wearing bulletproof vests doesn't mean I don't feel the barbs of your comments, fans.
That would be good. This vest is not metaphorical. What you're saying hurts.
Yeah.
No.
I had leukemia, damn it, and you cheered me for 1 week.
That is one of the funniest things where they came out and he had leukemia.
Let me say this about wrestling fans. We've got integrity. I nearly died from cancer. Yeah, and we don't like the way you fake fight. Boo, boo.
But still, though, fuck you.
Yeah, it's the best. Yeah, they wouldn't fucking do that in hockey. In hockey, if you have cancer, you're getting cheered, even if you were recently traded from that town. Not in fucking wrestling. I got fucking news for you. Jeff Hardy better not fucking show his face anytime soon in AEW, or everyone's going to be making police siren noises and whatever they think a DUI sounds like. Yes,
they're going to fucking... they're gonna 180% still cheer him and pretend. There's just a certain guy where it's like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the internet already likes them. Like if Kennedy had the exact same arrest record as Jeff Hardy, he'd be in jail in a country where you can't see your family because the internet wrestling fans would have just swatted his house so much. But Jeff Hardy is like, hey, Jeff Hardy drank and drove into an elementary school, killing only the kids. But he did manage to avoid all the teachers that are suspected of, I don't know, voting
pedophilia
for Nazis. And then
they're Nazi pedophiles.
Cool.
They'd be like, well, I mean, at least he missed some people is what the wrestling community. I mean, they wouldn't. What it would be is half the people saying that and the other half be like, Jeff Hardy's a fucking asshole. Actually, I saw him at Ring of Honor and he's a fucking asshole.
I guess, I mean, there's only really a couple recorded things of him being a cock, because we know the wonderful Christopher Hobson watched everything that Jeff Hardy has ever said to man or beast, and
Christopher Hobson actually flew to, I believe, Asheville, North Carolina, got himself arrested, spent the night in the adjoining cell from Jeff Hardy, just because in the research we actually know what he sleeps like when in prison. I was shocked to hear that it was on his stomach near the toilet. It's warm, is what he said.
It's also fun to time Jeff Hardy's WWE runs where it's like in TNA, he's like, oh, I can do a little thing I like to call Gatorade, but it's just different types of pills. And then in the WWE, he's like, better just have 19 beers and get behind the wheel of a huge car.
What I like about Jeff Hardy's various breakdowns is the first one, when asked what happened, he was like, well, listen, I got into meth and it's good. I like it. And then the next one is like, so what happened there, Jeff? And it's exactly where he was like, listen, I wasn't trying to get out of control like I was in TNA, so I would just start the day with 8 beers and then just try not to shit my pants.
That's the thing about this, man. It reminds me of a lot of addicts that we know where it's like, obviously, if your addiction, seek help, but like, trying to describe...
And actually seek help. Don't let Dylan's lack of enthusiasm bum you out. Like, I understand that Dylan is one of those people that stands in front of AE meetings sipping from a cognac bottle.
As soon as an AA meeting lights out, I've timed them all out in Toronto, and I go, hey, you've changed. Now it's fun.
Oh, yeah, he does. He stands up. He says that in front, and he goes, still smoking, though.
But it reminds me of, like, there's a ton of people, and I do have a skit about this, but there's a ton of people who we know who have stopped drinking but still do drugs all the time.
It's the most Toronto comedy thing. The amount of Christmases I've come back, and I have been yelled at by someone.
I'm not a pussy.
Yeah, someone on blow talking to me about how much better they feel now that they don't drink, and it's like, I got to tell you, buddy, you don't look better. You look thinner. not better.
Yeah, exactly. You're literally see-through, but yeah, sure, congrats. You don't need any more, I guess. But it's like Jeff Hardy's that guy where he's like, and it is a point to be made, but it's like someone's like, "Hey, man, you're drinking a lot," and he's like, I used to do meth. Get off my dick."
Yeah, it's like there's a very famous quote from Kevin Smith about Jason Mewes of all people, which was
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Smith once watched Jason Mewes drink 6 Red Bulls back to back,
Mm-hmm.
and then was like, "Should you be doing that?" And he's like, "Bro, I used to shoot speedballs 3 times a day, and that kills people." And then he was like, "Fair point. Enjoy your Red Bull."
Yeah, is Red Bull as bad as that? I mean, Red Bull's pretty bad.
Red Bull's been, I mean, fuck me. We've hung out with fucking Brendan Burns, who, when sober,
Red Bull is
Cane's monster. Holy fuck.
Red Bull is just microdosing amphetamines, though. That's what
Yeah,
that is.
100%. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's my. Also, can we just say this right now? Calling it microdosing is still taking drugs. The amount of people that I have been at comedy shows with recently that are like, I've microdosed on mushrooms. I feel much more calm. And then I watched one guy be like, doesn't affect me at all. And he literally went to open a bottle of water. If the bottle of water is here, he opened it like over here, and then took a sip like that with the cap still on. And I was like, oh yeah, not feeling any of the effects, you fucking goon.
Yeah, microdosing, I used to do that in high school back when it was called being a pussy. Like, that's everyone just called me a pussy because I was like, I don't want to, like, get fucked up in the woods. That's terrifying. I'll just take a bit of this stuff.
Yeah, and you've heard it here first, guys. Dylan Gott, massive puss. John Hastings, hot boy.
I don't want to, like, I don't understand, like, this whole thing about, like, oh, take mushrooms and then get into your mind.
Yeah,
No.
no,
I don't want to. Like, my dad's dead. It's okay if you're like an HR manager looking to have a hobby, go for the fucking mushrooms. But, like, my dad's dead. I'm good. Like, I don't want to be like, look in there and then maybe break my brain. Go fuck yourself.
The thing is, I took a bunch of mushrooms after I did a bunch of therapy, and I'm like getting right with myself, and they had nothing to do with my brain. It was I saw a bunch of rainbows shoot out of Valhalla, which just turned out to be a campfire, and it was very nice. Like, stop acting like mushrooms. Like, I agree with you completely. We're like, it's therapeutic. It's like, no, it's not. You're seeing funny, weird cartoons that aren't there, and it's fun. Stop acting like. Can we stop? Can my generation please stop ruining drugs? Do drugs like Jeff Hardy. I don't know why Jeff Hardy wants to.
For drugs.
Yeah, let's just do drugs to get fucked up.
Not everything is for self-improvement, guys.
Goddamn right. Yeah,
just
wrestling podcasts
are
for self-improvement.
Beating off fun again.
Goddamn right it does. Smoke
We're
weed at night.
Because
do you want to know why? Because it is sort of fun at the end of the day to smoke a bunch of weed. Stop acting like it's combating your anxiety. Being fucked up can be fun.
This is the whole thing about, like, how entrepreneur culture is leached into everything.
Oh, I know. If one more person tells me to hustle, I'm going to cut their penis off.
But, like, all the caretakers that when I was a caretaker with the Toronto School Board, all the young ones were into crypto. They had some side hustle. They were doing something. All the old caretakers were like, you know what you should get into? Getting so drunk fishing's hard. Like, and you're like, yeah, that sounds like you
way
just
more
have
fun.
A way better life. Like,
yeah,
but then again, they could own land without 3 jobs. So maybe I'm speaking to nobody. They weren't like, I have this job, but I also need 3 more jobs. They were just like,
but as I said,
have $40. I own the town of Keswick now. Who wants to fish?
As I said to everyone who got into crypto, who was like, and now I'm going to be able to buy my own house in cash. I want you to explain to me how crypto is made. And then they went, mining, and then never explained it. And I went, you're all fucked. Here's the difference between old dudes and young dudes. Old dudes have figured out, fuck this. I'm going to fucking sit somewhere and do something that's not hard, but seems hard so no one fucking bothers me. Young people are like, I'm fucking out there making it happen. It's like, you're not. You're out there working Uber and being sad. Shut the fuck up. Go jack off somewhere.
This is the other thing. You got to think about what you're spending while you're working so hard. Because if you're working super hard and you can't make yourself lunch, then you've just already lost money because you have to pay someone else to make you the thing. Anyway,
by the way,
I'm on an old man thing.
I want you to know everything. I want you to know one thing about Dylan Gott. Dylan Gott has been obsessed with how much. No.
Piece of salami around an apple. Eat it. Also eat the core. That's every meal now.
I also want you guys to know Dylan Gott truly is obsessed with when people just eat in restaurants all the time because he literally is like, you're just throwing money away. That's just you worth. It is it. We all have that one thing.
Father, I'll die a father.
It is the best thing. I remember deep in COVID, one of our friends was having a little like financial hiccup, and I guarantee you don't even remember saying this. You went, I'll tell you why he's in a fucking situation because that dumb fuck eats at restaurants more than once a day. What are you fucking? What are you, the fucking king of England? Is exactly what you said, and I laughed.
Are you Kardashian?
It was so fucking funny. Just like what are you? I didn't realize I was friends with the Duke of Windsor. Make your own fucking lunch. It's just like, what the fuck?
No one should be that used to service. Service should be a special thing where it's on holidays. And frankly, I also think there's too many holidays. I want to be a politician, and my only thing is we're cutting away some of these goddamn holidays.
There's so many holidays in Canada, especially, and I've learned this from living in the U.S. And also, by the way, here's another thing. This has become welcome to the old man review with Gus and Lou.
It's been too long.
Yeah, goddamn, time to go.
I save money on what? I need a fucking something to get my dick hard. No, you need spit. That's it. Spit.
Yeah.
Want to
know how I fucking save money? I don't got any friends. I got one friend. He's my dog.
Ugly, get a divorce. That's what I'll have. That's my divorce guy.
Welcome everyone to the rest of the review. If your wife is ugly, get a divorce. Jeff Hardy, what's your best and worst?
There's a guy around this area who had the greatest slogan for a real estate agent ever, which was, "Don't get a divorce, get a bigger house."
Is that divorce agent related to you in some way? That seems like
he's a real estate agent.
Wait, you're not related to a lot of real estate agents?
I know a couple, but I'm related to a lot of people that work for dig pools.
Mm-hmm.
They dig pools and they get drunk, and that, my friend, is a
I really offended a friend of mine because he said he was in a ska band for like 15 years and now he just sells jacuzzis. And I said, when I found this out, so is that what happens when you're in a ska band for 15 years? And he said, you're not the first person to make that joke and it's not funny. And I got to tell you, yes, it is. Yes, it very much is every day. Yeah, the ska band of the world is the jacuzzi salesman. This is something I don't need and isn't fun. Let's buy it. That's what ska music and jacuzzis both are.
Something I really like about going back to hang out with my family is, like, I lost weight, and then every comedian's like, did you do keto? What diet are you on? Everyone in my family was like, oh, yeah, I gave up beer. Like, that's all you have to do because they all have manual labor jobs. So they're like, you gave up beer. That's how you lose 60 whole pounds.
Oh, yeah. It's also, by the way, the thing that I've said this to a bunch of people because I've also I've lost a bunch of weight and tightened. And let me tell you what no one wants to hear when they ask, how'd you do that? And I just went, I've been really sad, so I've just been running up hills so I don't cry. Yeah. And they're just like, what? They all then are like, you need to go to a therapist. And I'm like, I mean, you just said I look great. So I think that I don't. I think you need to go to a therapist.
Exactly. You need to go to a therapist for being a big puss.
Yeah, exactly. Go to a fucking physical therapist and figure out so they can maybe figure out why you're a fucking giant pussy, but you still got a dick, bro.
There you go. That's the other thing is, like, everybody wants to be fucking swole as hell, but nobody wants the answer of, I don't know, man, 2 hours a day and then eat specific things.
2 hours a day and eating specific things, by the way, is how Jeff Hardy tested positive on so many wellness checks. We're back in. So the respect match.
No.
Oh, okay.
More talking in circles. Remember, we told we were going to do this later in the episode, so people listening would be like, oh, thank God they went right in the episode. And then the middle is just like,
yeah, we tricked you, bitch.
Here is how you make a real salad.
Yeah. No tomatoes, no lettuce, only cottage cheese, but none of the water, just the curds.
Salad dressing's too fucking fancy. You get vinegar, and you like how sour it is. That's
would you like to know what Richard Nixon ate for lunch every day for like 15 years? It's one of the most what were his shit likes lunches I've ever. No, that was for breakfast, you fucking idiot. So he looked good.
Baby skulls for breakfast.
Baby skulls for breakfast, adrenochrome, and then for lunch he would have pineapple circles. And in the middle, he put cottage cheese. And all I can think is, what was his asshole must have been awful. What is that?
That's my Nana used to make that and then I would just not eat it and I would eat the cottage cheese.
Oh, that sounds so gross.
I ate cottage cheese and pineapple once, and as Alexis said, my wife, she said, that's the slowest I've ever seen you eat. Because I was like trying to eat it to be polite, but I was like, this is. So I just ate at the speed of a normal man.
I don't stand for that.
Hoover it all.
Yeah, that's not how we eat here on the rest of you. Want to know how
we eat fast.
You're looking at two men that are not welcome in certain grocery stores because if we get a hold of the rotisserie chicken, it doesn't make it to checkout.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me,
Push him into a
why are
rotisserie
you
chicken.
buying just some of these chicken bones in a bag? Ask me about my business again, and you will be sworn at, madam.
Suck a dick on the wall. Not mine. That'd be bad. But on the wall.
I'll tell you what else was bad.
No, don't. No. Once again,
Jeff
I'm
Hardy's
blocking
Intercontinental
this
title run when he was facing Johnny Nitro. Now, I forgot he was called Johnny Nitro. Fun fact, it's because he had sided with Eric Bischoff. And this was the weird period of time when Eric Bischoff was just the
Well, that's
Raw
fun.
GM for like 7 years.
We should also talk about this, how Jeff Hardy is one of those people where they immediately... Jeff Hardy, the whole storyline is...
Call him
he
Jeff
beat
Hardy.
Triple H. Now he's fucking ready to win the world title.
He fucking did it.
So they soft cock it by making
Makes
him...
sense.
They soft cock it because he's on SmackDown, so he beats the SmackDown guy, which is really like he's going to win the world title. Look he won this thing that is like basically positioned as the Intercontinental title. So that's how they soft cock it, first of all. Secondly, he beats Edge. As a story goes, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy was the #1 dude in their tag team wars. They have a ladder match, Extreme Rules match. He beats Edge. Fucking awesome. Then what do? They have CM Punk come out and beat him immediately with cashing in the Money in the Bank. Now, I could see that Vince and everybody knew that Jeff Hardy was like a Ronnie Garvin champion where everyone wanted him to win, but once he wins, it's like kind of like, what do you do with the guy? You don't really have like an inherent feud you could go into, unless honestly, no, Christian would have been TNA at this point. But like, you can do feuds.
There's a bunch of feuds you could have done with Jeff Hardy because the one thing is
just
that
get creative.
Yeah, you get creative. And then this is also a time where
Can he
put
actually beat Triple H?
Can he actually beat John Cena? Can he actually beat Batista?
Yeah.
Can he actually beat like all those big dudes and stuff like that? It's also like fucking Great Khali's in there. I'll fucking watch Jeff Hardy fucking climb and do a bunch of flips.
He's the best guy to have big monster matches against because the guy doesn't even need to be worked because it's like, Great Khali pushes him. Jeff Hardy literally runs out of the ring, down into the stage, and spears himself into a real knife.
It would be fucking amazing. I can't, and I have to tell you, I don't know why they never thought of this. Dylan?
I think they did. I just think they weren't committed to Jeff Hardy because at this point, the Straight Edge Society and CM Punk is actually, like, you can see CM Punk is actually enjoying what he's doing.
And the Straight Edge Society was one of the. It was very much a gimmick it was very much the Ministry of Darkness gimmick done much better. So they did it just without any of the fantastic elements. It's just a megalomaniacal ass.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the good brother who
Luke Gallows.
Let me say this about Luke Gallows. He really seems like the kind of guy that you walk into an airport strip club and you're like, yeah, of course you're here. Yeah, why wouldn't you be here? Just having a coffee at a strip club, just hanging out. I like to be treated like a gentleman. That's what he would say. And then also he's joined. Is that Molly Holly or is that someone else? I always think it's Molly Holly.
Deeb, and it's a really good.
So it's not Molly Holly.
It is absolutely not Molly Holly. But the interesting thing about this is, and this is like a perfect thing of what makes wrestling angles work, is that he just comes out, CM Punk does with Luke Gallows, and says, yeah, he was on drugs when he was Festus, and now he's Luke Gallows. He's cured. I cure people. And he just basically, it's the Manson family. But
yeah, it's
CM Punk. And it's also one of those ones where it's done well enough. AEW has one now. It's like MJF,
with Malachi Black.
Sorry, go for it.
They sort of they're trying to do it now a bit with the House of Black. They were doing it a bit with Edge as well. The reason why this works so well with CM Punk is a couple of reasons. One, CM Punk was sniveling and grew his hair and beard really long and had like a shitty lip ring. And why that's all important is they were a lot of these guys out in the zeitgeist in society right now. At that time, this was really the time of pickup artists. It was the time of really fucking, like, you want to know how you get a girl? Wear a vest, no shirt underneath. Like, it was just a lot of weird advice for dudes on the internet. So it just echoed a lot of things that were in the zeitgeist in a way that wrestling doesn't usually. And it was, and Dylan, I hope you're sitting down. Are you sitting down? It was pretty great.
Yeah, it's also like, what do you say? It's CM Punk reworking something he did on the Indies and then adding shit.
Yeah, it's basically CM Punk's career kind of goes in sort of an arc, which is he does an angle like this, then the Summer of Punk, then he leaves. Oh, and make sure that if he gets a title, he will drop it or disappear for a while. That's the main thing I want to take away from CM Punk's entire wrestling career. First time he gets a belt, what's going to happen? He's going to leave for a long time.
But I think that makes sense. If you lose something, come back. So then it's like, I'm new and improved. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but he
Don't just
wins
stay
something and
around
then
and
leaves.
then
Wins
just don't
something and
stay
leaves.
around
Always
and fucking.
wins something and then just leaves.
But this is the perfect. Really, Jeff Hardy. This is why Jeff Hardy, even after this wellness violation and the next one, will always, always, always be around, because he full jobs to CM Punk, where it's like, I'm going to try and transfer you all my power. And he did the exact same thing to Rob Van Dam. He was the only guy in the entire
Who
division
put over Rob Van Dam.
100% put him on. Just hey, we came out, it was my specialty match and your specialty match. You beat me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Jeff Hardy will always have, because if you have a guy who's the face of the company and who fits that, then you can't have him be a fucking drug addict who always gets in fucking shit. But if you just have a guy who's in your top 10, who's like a guy who's going to lose for a world title occasionally or whatever, then you can still have him be in your top mix, and everyone will still be a big fan of them, even if they fuck up all the time. And like, should Jeff Hardy, as a man, should wrestling promotions take some responsibility for the people they hire and send him to rehab and not hire him back? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Do they also hire and are run by people with sexual assault allegations against them? Absolutely.
100%.
So, like, if you're gonna litigate wrestling as a moral company or a moral compass, then you can't really start with Jeff Hardy, where it's like, I'm sorry, but like on the moral spectrum, getting hammered and driving is bad, but it's not as bad as sexual assault.
Yeah, or whatever the fuck we find out Tony Khan's up to.
Tony Khan, I guarantee, is into something so weird we don't even have a way to quantify.
I just guarantee he's a guy that he really enjoys all the stepbrother porn that we got going on right now. He's like,
yeah, he probably only watches porn where it's like someone getting stuck and then there's
the stepmom stuck porn. Also, I guarantee when
I don't know why. That's
I guarantee when someone's like, who would actually pay for porn, he reacts like how he reacted to Eric Bischoff's comments about CM Punk. Oh, fuck that guy is what he says. Oh, I gotta tell you, that rant, no one has ever looked worse. Shut the fuck up. You're yelling at yourself, Tone. We all know you are. Tony.
Every single person as an adult that watched that with like friends and a family was like, I guess if I just beat this guy up, I could take what he has.
Yeah, I think, wait a minute. If I see that guy in the street, I can just be like, hey, I'm the CFO of AEW. No, you're not. Shut the fuck up, Tony. Hey,
shut up, Poon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing where even CM Punk is looking at him like, wow, this guy's a fucking loser.
Yeah.
And CM Punk is tweeting at the mascot of an NHL team at that point. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. CM Punk's looking at Tony Khan being like, man, this guy's really petty. And then he's like, he's tweeting at the mascot for the Chicago Blackhawks. Why weren't you in my section? I wanted a free T-shirt.
But you should have been there when I won.
Yeah, I'm the player and the coach. Fuck you, Phil, you nerd.
But CM Punk wins the championship for the second
boy does he.
And
I gotta tell you, this is such a good time. I really think this is the beginning of the CM Punk rise, and this is when the WWE is really trying to kill it. Because isn't this the CM Punk title that he wins, and then Randy Orton, not even on camera, kicks him in the head, and he's like, "I'm the championship now, man. Who wants to fuck let me fuck your mom."
No, that was on Raw. He won. That was when he was babyface CM Punk, and they were like really just didn't want him to be that was the crazy thing where it's like, I love competing. Like when he came out and he was like CM Bret Hart at first, and he was like, I love competing. My only addiction is competition. That's what his storyline was. But then he becomes straight edge society heel on SmackDown, and this is the whole time of like King Booker was before this, but like you could do really, really good work on SmackDown. It's just at some point you were going to have to face a guy from Raw, and then they would beat you. So it was kind of like, in a weird way, it was kind of like NXT, where it's like you get these reminders that, oh, the NXT champion is positioned as like lower than the Intercontinental champion. But within the world, if you just watch SmackDown and nothing else, then you could be like, you could basically pretend you watched a good wrestling
Yeah, but it's a very interesting thing of like the smack. It's such an interesting corollary, you actually mind, that I've never sort of thought about, is that the WWE always has like their main show and then the other show that actually has a lot of good wrestling that they will destroy. SmackDown 6 SmackDown destroyed. Triple H NXT destroyed. Now we just have Vince McMahon's WWE, where the divas are required to change on top of a plastic coffee table where he is sat underneath just going.
Oh god. What hot fucking thing was I gonna say? No.
Yeah,
And
usually
then
you say something very hot and sticker.
this is a really exploration of why Jeff Hardy's allowed to still get drunk and drive, which is the way he loses to CM Punk is they flip-flop the title for no reason. He loses to Punk at SummerSlam. Then he loses a loser leaves town cage match, and CM Punk's to come out and brag about how he ran Jeff Hardy out of town, when in reality it's like he had a bunch of wellness violations coming up, and they still let him lose that cage match and leave the company without it being like, hey, he lost because he has wellness violations.
Gadzooks. Yeah. Well, it's also, here's what I would also say about the WWE wellness policy when it also comes to competing wrestling companies. Jeff Hardy and Kurt Angle are the best examples of this, which is the industry does need to establish, like, we should not put Jeff Hardy would have probably sought treatment I'm not trying to put this on the AEW, but I'm just saying, if he wasn't able to get a job,
why is it okay that AEW hired him?
That's the thing. And also, why is it okay that people
and then everyone was like, no, actually that was a false reading of that wellness violation, so actually Jeff's doing fine. Oh wait, sorry.
Yeah, that was the thing, is that everyone was like, no, it was a false reading, and it was just like, guys, you're all in denial. Like, I've been lucky enough to have friends that have addiction problems. Let me tell you what it never is. Someone else's fault when they test positive for drugs and alcohol. It's not like
it's a sickness.
Come on. Yeah. And I understand that AEW
and maybe wrestling isn't, maybe a bunch of clowns fucking flying through tables isn't the best thing for a guy who has an addiction to every type of inebriant.
Shut the fuck up, Dylan. I will not sit here and have you besmirch Uncle Dave's House of Tumbling. Welcome to Uncle Dave's House of Tumbling.
Hippity hoo. I tumble.
Oxycontin for you.
But yeah, the best part about Jeff Hardy during this period is when he won the title. The worst part is that he clearly was just still on all this shit, and they were like, that's fine.
Yeah, and then, and by the way, immediately after this, when he leaves the company again, is when we get the excellent Waffle House I'm fucked up in a green flannel interview. Hell to the fuck yeah.
Yeah, man. But that's Jeff Hardy, baby. That's fucking, this is the last look into Jeff Hardy's imagination, unless we talk about the AEW run, which we probably will, because...
Have we done any? Is there anyone we could do from? I wanted to ask you this as we sort of close out, and please feel free to reach out on social media. That's at the Wrestler Review on the social medias. Please, we're on Gab,
Parlor,
of course.
Is Parlor still around?
I don't know. We're on Telegram, but only on the channels that are used for the for Russians to talk about how well the Ukrainian war is going. That's where we promote the wrestling podcast.
And also we're on 16chan.
Yes, we are on.
Fucking losers.
Exactly.
18chan's got real speech on there.
Yeah, they censor speech on 8chan. They censor it. And on 8kun.
Just slurs.
Exactly. That's right. So I'll see you in hell, you.
There you go.
Beep. Can't say it here because I don't want to. I don't want to be cucked by Nancy. Exactly. I don't want Nancy Pelosi to come to my fucking house and.
I don't like cheese pizza, Hillary.
Goddamn right. No one does.
Continue.
Yeah. Stop putting vegetables on my meat.
Sorry, we're gonna say.
I would like to. One of the wrestlers I'd like to profile next is there an AEW wrestler that fits our remit, who is such as no longer actively wrestling but did wrestle in AEW, so we can talk about AEW, because we don't really ever get to do because all of the AEW wrestlers, because it's such a young company, are still wrestling.
You do Christopher Daniels. Did we already do him?
I don't know if we have done the Fallen Angel. If we haven't done the Fallen Angel, then please do, because if not,
you jam on some other guys.
We
could also do our classic AJ Styles thing where we take a hard stance about someone and it turns out we were very
nothing
wrong.
Better than that. I mean, I would love to do I would also love to do sort of those AEW guys that were all like, this guy will be fun. Oh, he's gone. A Joey Janela. Do you know what I would also love to do?
We did Christopher Daniels 100%.
Great. You know who I'd love to do? Have we done Awesome Kong?
We have not done Awesome Kong, I don't think. Let me see.
Because let me say this
Maybe
about
Awesome
Awesome.
Kong.
I don't think Awesome Kong. I don't think anyone has had better entrances and then immediately not contributed to the company more than Awesome Kong.
Awesome Kong had that great run in TNA, but then of course did just immediately get pregnant in the WWE, and people were like, "Well, you gotta know you're gonna get pregnant," and it's like, well, someone doesn't know how pregnancy works. Internet media, which is like so funny, where people are like unprofessional to get pregnant. It's like, or shut up.
Oh my god, yes, yeah, fuck you, wrestling fans. Also, yeah, can we please do Awesome Kong? Following reasons: she punched Bubba the Love Sponge in the face. End of list. See, ladies, like, do
also,
we need any other
other than
reason?
the fucking X division with Samoa Joe and Daniels and Styles? Those were like the Knockouts division was like the high point of their ratings.
Oh my god, again, TNA right before Bischoff and Hogan came in was as good as any of the other things that everyone in wrestling has ever JO'd over. It's just, I think I was the only one watching at that time. I genuinely believe TNA could have been called the John Hastings Wrestling Federation, because all they were like, no one talked about it. It was just me being like, this Samoa Joseph is he can tumble. He's a tumbler.
Uncle Dave's House of Tumbling. John, what's the best and worst thing about Jeff Hardy during this?
Best thing about Jeff Hardy is he's the only man I've ever seen do a lot of meth and get slower. Worst thing, all of the addictions.
All the addictions, of course. If you are seeking, if you are an addict or you think you have a problem, please seek help.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah, and then Jeff Hardy. I hope Jeff Hardy gets better. But
you know what's weird?
It's weird to litigate the hiring policy of a company that a guy pretends to be a dinosaur in, but here you go.
What's even weirder, it's weird that we're the only ones in the so-called wrestling media. Also, here's something that I need to stop. I do enjoy how it's called the so-called wrestling media by everyone, because it's just like, yeah, that's what it feels like.
Not in the media, by the way. I think the media
I am in the media.
We're way closer to like Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith, where we're like, we hear a couple things and we say some buck wild shit, and then everyone's like, did that guy watch that? And you're like, I heard about it.
Yeah, I got pretty busy, guys. I would have watched it, but I could. You don't need to know about something to give a hot take. Everyone knows that.
McGregor, you mean Gregor? Whatever. I did shows today.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't fucking give a shit. Yeah,
McGriddle or whatever is gonna,
this program's like if Ariel Helwani was only just trying to troll the UFC and was doing no research. Welcome to the Wrestler Review.
Welcome to the Wrestler Review. Thanks for listening.
Hi, Mr. Anderson Silva. Is it true that you have a little penis?
Mrs. Anderson Silva.
Oh, you're the lady spider.
Yeah, that's true, and that equates to bad.
Yeah, that's right. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week here on the Wrestler Review. My name is Dylan Gott.
I'm Dylan Gott, too.
Whoa.
Thanks so much. And just hot off the presses, a staffer affiliated with Stephen Colbert's Late Show was arrested at the U.S. Capitol.
It happened 3 days ago. It is the most stupid story ever. See you in hell.
Bye-bye.